Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with the Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. If you notice that the battle reports are out of order, I actually recorded this last night and uploaded it, and the sound was out of sync for some reason. So I uploaded it again this morning. The sound is still out of sync, so I am now just re-recording it. So I showed up at the game store with a normal 2,500 list, and this Dark Elf player, whom I've played several times before, said that he had a 3,000 Ardboys list that he wanted to try out. So I threw in a Jabberslythe and a Cygor and said, great. And I think I dropped a Razor Gore. But basically, I did something like that, and so I had a 3,000 point list. The scenario is basically a battle line. If you look at the bottom middle, there's a token right there. That means that that unit has +1 attack, +1 strength. And so you had to choose a core unit and give that token to. So my opponent, if you look at the top left, there's a unit of warriors right next to his that dragon. They have the same token. So basically, you get that benefit, and then, like if you capture the other person's token, I guess by destroying that unit, there's some kind of benefit to whatever. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention to it, or because it just doesn't matter. But anyway, so that's what this game is. It's a kind of a practice for the Ardboys for my opponent. So on my far right, he's got 10 Dark Riders, a couple Hydras. He's got a unit of Warriors. There's a level 2 Spellcaster in there. Let's see, then there's 9 Cold One Knights with a Master BSB. There's a unit of Blackguard. Then there's a unit of Warriors. There's another level 2 caster. And that unpainted model is, I think it's Lokir Darkheart or something, whatever it is. It's a named character. This guy is nasty. Basically, I mean, he starts off I think with 3 attacks, but he gets an extra attack for every rank that the unit opposing him has, and then he also gets to re-roll all rolls to wound. So being a Dark Elf, he already gets to re-roll rolls to hit, now rolls to wound, and with this scenario with that unit having +1 attack and +1 strength, he's starting with 4 attacks at strength 5 instead of strength 4 plus all the extra attacks, plus all the re-rolls. That guy's nasty. He also causes terror. So then he has a Lord level character on a dragon. I know he's got a 2-up armor save, and he's got the reverse ward save. So he's really tough to kill. And then he's got 10 more Dark Riders. So, looking at his list, because the 2 Hydras and the named character and the dragon, it seems pretty typical of Ardboys. But then he has 2 units of Dark Riders that to me seemed kind of fluffy. Because I just don't think Dark Riders do as well in 8th edition. But kudos to him for taking it, and I'm not a Dark Elf expert. Maybe they are really competitive. Who knows? So my strategy was to do a weighted flank. I wanted everything on the right-hand side. I put a bunch of throwaway units on the left-hand side. I just want to slow these things down, you know, take care of the right side, and then maneuver over. So I'm using Dragon Ogres for Razor Gore. So I've got a Razor Gore on my far left, a Tuskgore Chariot, another Razor Gore. The unpainted big model between the 2 chariots is a Cygor. It's actually a pretty cool model. I don't know what it's from, but it looks like a big werewolf. Anyway, then there's another Tuskgore Chariot. Here's a unit of 30 Gore, and this is the one with that special token on it, +1 attack, +1 strength. Then I've got my Bestigores. Then I've got 30 Gore. Now in this unit, I've got my General, and he's got a 3-up armor save, and otherwise is just pretty killy. There's my Battle Standard Bearer, who's got the banner of +1 strength for everyone in the unit, which is nice, but when you give him that, you can't really protect him. He has a 2-up armor save and no ward save and only 2 wounds. So it's a pretty fragile BSB. I'm almost tempted to just field a naked BSB and keep him behind the lines out of danger, just giving rerolls. Because rerolls with Primal Fury is so important. And in most of my games, I have a hard time keeping him alive if I give him any kind of banner. Anyway, I also have a level 4 spellcaster. He's actually in the 2nd rank of that unit because I have 2 characters and full command already, so he's 2nd rank. Bottom left, I've got the Hearthstone with 2 level 1s. All my mages are using shadow magic, which in the future I probably won't do. It was kind of overkill, but that's what I thought I'd try. I've got 6 Minotaurs with Musician and Standard, another Razor Gore, and then I have the Hydra that I ripped off all the necks on. That thing is in the midst of being converted to a Jabberslythe. And if you look at my battle report number 116, you'll see a quick picture of them. And then the battle report that should go up later tonight, number 117, you should see a little bit more of the converted model. So there's his battle line. I think his army's mostly painted, and the ones that are painted I think are beautiful. And I think my army's still ugly, but there you have it. So we go Dark Elf turn 1. Yeah, he doesn't really move up. He just kind of shuffles over a little bit. The Dark Riders shoot at my Minotaurs, and it's so funny. They seem so far away. And I think that was Dark Riders shooting at him, which is why I would take a picture like this. But they do 2 wounds on him. And if they don't have range for that, then probably it wasn't the Dark Riders. It was a magic spell, but I'm pretty sure it was Dark Riders. Anyway, so we go to Beastmen turn 1. So I take my unit of gore on the left, and I'm really just trying to set up to protect my flank. I don't want to rush up. I'm not interested in the Blackguard getting into combat that quickly. The other units, I was hoping to engage him in the woods so that he wouldn't be steadfast. My Bestigors usually don't need to be steadfast. Usually they're just going to win combat, and I'm kind of counting on that. And my Gore unit, my general has Crown of Command, so he's stubborn anyway. So I was trying to lure him into the woods. We'll see if that works or not. My Jabberslythe charged the Dark Riders. Stand and Shoot did 1 wound on him. So otherwise, I'm very, very confident that a 275-point monster is going to take care of a unit of Fast Cav. Over here, I put my Razor Gore up. What I was trying to do was I didn't want both Hydras dual charging my Minotaurs. And when all was said and done, I realized, yeah, he didn't really do that. So, whatever. Otherwise, that's how things are looking. So, I guess, I did 4 wounds on this unit, and I guess the guy starts with 5 attacks, and so doing 4 wounds, I really can't complain about it. He did 2 wounds on me, which seemed like a lot, but then again, he just had so many attacks, and he just has to, when he rolls, he has rerolls to hit, so he's going to a bunch of hits. He just needs 6s to wound, and it doesn't matter what my toughness is. So that probably panned out the way it likely would, and my guy doesn't have any armor save or regen or ward or anything. So I've had a very expensive monster sitting on 2 wounds. A little bit underwhelmed right now with the performance of the Jabberslythe. Dark Elves were steadfast, and so he easily passed his test, and we go to Dark Elf turn 2. Overall, that's what the board looks like. If you look at the top middle, he has his two blocks of infantry grabbing that hill, so looking to charge down it, I'm sure. Otherwise, you can see he just moves his Fast Cav around. His dragon actually had a failed charge. He was trying to go into my Bestigor's flank, I think. Possibly he was going somewhere else, but whatever he was trying to do, he failed the charge. That's why he's sitting back there. His Cold One Knights came into my Gore unit. I was thrilled to see this, absolutely thrilled. First of all, I've got my general, my battle standard bearer in there. I'm only strength 3, so my core, my rank and file troops aren't going to do a whole lot of wounds on his guys. My general has a decent chance of doing some wounds. More importantly, it doesn't matter who wins. I'm going to be stubborn, and then I have Bestigors that can hit him in the flank next turn. And so this turn or next turn, I'm going to tear that unit up. So I was very happy to see that charge. During my magic phase in the last turn, I got the miasma off on the unpainted Hydra, reduced its movement by 1, and he failed this charge into the Minotaurs by 1. So that was very fortunate. Two Hydras were going to tear up Minotaurs. 1 Hydra, and I'm liking my odds there. I've got full command. I've got extra hand weapons, so 12 plus 9, 21 attacks, strength 5. Very, very optimistic about what a 350-point unit of Minotaurs is going to do against a single Hydra. So you see my Razor Gores fleeing. One of the Hydras charged him. So, all right, so this is looking kind of across the table. This is my left flank. His Dark Rider shot at my chariot and killed it. I don't know what the odds are of that. I was a little bit surprised that he did that many wounds. And then the Razor Gore on the far left failed its panic test and ran away. And over here on the right, he didn't do any wounds on my Jabberslythe this turn. Not having rerolls to hit was very helpful. And I did only 2 wounds to him with 5 attacks, 2 wounds. I don't think I can complain too much. It's going to happen. At least he's not steadfast this time. I win by 2, and he passes. Over here, you see I did 3 wounds on his Cold One Knights. He did I don't know how many wounds on me. It doesn't look like it did a whole lot. And regardless, everybody sticks around. So that turned out well. Pretty unimpressed with the Minotaurs. He did 2 wounds on me, and I feel like I got pretty lucky with that. And I did maybe a wound or 2 on him, just really not very much. He had the charge. I had a banner. He did 2 wounds on me. I did 2 wounds on him. I might have won by 1 because of musician. And I take that back. I don't think I won because my guys didn't get frenzied. So I must have only done 1 wound on him. So strength 5, toughness 5. I had to get past his toughness, and then I had to get past a 4-up regen. And I think between those 2 things, it really hurt me. So we go to Beastmen turn 2. Yeah, there's an overview. There's a lot of stuff going on. So we get to the close-ups. This is on the left side of the flank. This is the unit on the left, that big gore unit, was the one I was holding back. It's the one with the marker. And I made just a huge tactical mistake here. I basically charged in with the gore unit, with a Razor Gore, and with a Tusk Gore Chariot. And the reason they are like they are is because the only way I could really get them to fit. And it really was stupid by charging this way. Basically, I needed to not take the Razor Gore in there. He really doesn't do a whole lot for me, and it cost me just a ton of strength 4 attacks with that unit. I mean, just ridiculously stupid. Really don't know. I mean, I think what I was thinking was just a very intuitive knee-jerk reaction, charge him with everything you have, and it was just silly, just stupid. In hindsight, it would have been better even if I did declare all of them, just to move the Gores in next, and then have the Razor Gore do a failed charge or something. So my thinking here was, I have so many Gore that he shouldn't be steadfast. With all the impact hits and all the attacks I get, I'm really hoping I could win by several. There's no battle standard bearer nearby, so he'll be at leadership 10 minus whatever I beat him at. I need to beat him, overrun, and get out of the sight of his blackguard and of his dragon. And I have a decent chance of doing that, and that's what I need to have happen. And if that happens, I get a ton of points, and then I can afterwards, he'll have to reform, I can reform, and we can, go from there. Over here, the best scores coming to the flank of the Dark Riders. I'm absolutely just thrilled about that. I'm going to crush them. Pit of Shades goes off and takes the other Hydra out of the equation, so that was very fortunate. And then after that spell, I take my level 4. Now he was with the Gore unit, and because of the lore attribute with the Lore of Shadow, I switched places with one of my level 1s to get him out of danger, because I just don't want to take the chance of him getting killed in combat. Now during the magic phase, this is a close-up picture of his unit on the far left with the named character in it. I was able to get a -1 strength on those guys, so they start with a +1 strength marker, so they're back to strength 3. So I thought that was a little bit helpful. I was hoping to do it -2 or 3 strength, but you get what you get. So when combat was over, that named character was nasty. I started off with, I believe, 5 full ranks. So he started with 3 plus the 1, that's 4, plus my 5, 9, re-rolling to hit, re-rolling to wound at strength 4, and just kill. I lost 9 Gore, and most of it to him. I mean, absolutely sick. I still won combat by 3, and his general was nearby. That was a 10, so he needed a 7, and he stuck. And as soon as he stuck, I was like, that was a fail. That was a fail because there's no way the Razor Gore could do nearly as many wounds as all the displaced Gore who were at strength 4. Just an epic fail. And so him holding, now he's going to easily get a flank charge and going to destroy all these guys. So that was the gambit I took. Stupid mistake in there, and it didn't work. And even if I had made the mistake, had he rolled low, it wouldn't have worked anyway. So, those things are going to happen. He didn't roll low, by the way. He rolled a 6. So here on the right-hand side, look, there's only 1 Cold One Knight remaining. So I went ahead and pursued with my Gore unit. I reformed my best Gore unit. My thinking was the best Gores get charged by the Blackguard. The Gore gets charged by the Spear, the Warriors, and we go from there. If you look on the right, the Hydra is just chopping apart my Minotaurs. It's getting to the point now where I don't think I'm gonna win. He did, I think, 6 wounds on me, 5 wounds. I don't know how many wounds. He did a ton of wounds in the Minotaurs. I did a couple on him. I've yet to win combat with those guys. And it's a 170-point model, just tearing apart my 350-point Minotaur unit. Very unhappy with that. If you look up, the Jabberslythe only killed one Dark Rider this time. I don't know if they did any wounds on him. I think they may have done one, and that's a push. So I've got a 275 point Jabberslythe who is struggling to take care of a fast cav unit. So we get our Dark Elf turn 3. Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on here, so let's get close up. This on the left is Dragon and Fast Cav coming to the flank of my Gore unit. I'm toast. I'm toast. So he charged his warriors into the Bestigors, or he declared the charge, and I held, and then he declared a charge of the Blackguard, and I didn't want those guys getting dual charged because I would not be stubborn, and I really think I'd lose by a lot. So they just fled. He redirected into my Gore unit, and in hindsight, I probably should have fled. I stuck because I was thinking that he's going to chop through them, but I'm going to be stubborn. And I just need to stick around long enough for my Jabberslythe and my Bestigors to take care of, the Bestigors to rally, the Jabberslythe take care of the fast cav and get him in reform. And so 3 rounds of combat later, I can dual charge. And so the question is, do I have enough Gore to survive 3 rounds of combat against all those Blackguard? Likely not, but I don't need all of them to survive. I need my general, if nothing else, I need my general to survive. You'll notice, by the way, that my battle standard bearer is gone. He got killed by the Dark Riders, by the Cold One Knights, I mean. So after combat, this is on the left. Yeah, he chopped through that unit. But you'll notice, look at the warriors. I mean, I chopped through him as well. That was a pretty bloody fight. But nevertheless, he won, chased down the Gore unit, and didn't chase these guys down. But even if I rally, he's just going to crush me next time. After combat, he did a bunch of wounds. I did some on him. He reformed the warriors, basically slide him over, and we move on because I'm stubborn 9. So we go to Beastmen turn 3. So at the end of combat, the Jabberslythe was finally able to take care of a fast cav unit, so good for him. Bestigors rallied. Razorgore and the Tuscarora Chariot rally, but it's not going to do him any good. Now, if you look at the bottom left, that's a 275 point Cygor. I don't know what this guy's good for. I didn't want to move him up because anything he could have fought in combat was going to tear him up. So I'm just using him as a stone thrower, and I've had 2 turns so far, and you'll notice he has 2 wounds. That's because both times I rolled a hit and a misfire, and so he's taken a wound both times. This third turn, for the 3rd time in a row, I rolled a hit, but I did not roll a misfire this time. Normally I would aim for the Blackguard, but they were in combat, so I just went ahead and aimed for the General. Got a Strength 9 hit on the Dragon, Strength 3 hit on the General. General shrugged it off. The Dragon, I have Strength 9 versus Toughness 5. I need a 2 up to wound him, and I roll a 1. So, I mean, more than likely I should have wounded him, but then what? I do maybe a few wounds, and it doesn't really affect anything. But for morale purposes, it was pretty discouraging for the 3rd time in a row to roll a hit and not be able to do any good to anybody. Anyway, so Beastman turn 3, you can see really what's going on. Yeah, they rally. Good luck, guys. You're going to die. So the Bestigors rally. I really think my Gore unit can survive another round of combat. This round, I think they'll survive maybe even next round, and then my Bestigors will come in and they'll go into the flank of the Blackguard. They're going to chop them up, and I should win combat by a lot. So I'm still hoping that strategy can pay off. The Minotaur Hydra battle is just going abysmally. I'm down to 4 wounds left for the whole unit, and I think I've done a total of 3 wounds in the Hydra. I just can't do anything to him. This is looking from the right flank of the table. The Jabberslythe charged a mage, and she fled, and I could have redirected into the warriors. I really wanted to. The problem is I'm sitting on 1 wound, and I thought it might be better just to take the chance on getting the mage out of the game and getting some points that way than to charge him in the flank of the warriors and just have them get what they just need. They're going to get probably 4 hits on them, and then just need to roll 1-6. So, yeah. Anyway, after combat, the Minotaurs are destroyed. 350 points, losing to 175 points, and it wasn't really even close. So pretty unhappy with their performance. So we go to Dark Elf turn 4. So the Dragon charges Tuscarora Chariot. I flee, he catches it and destroys it. The named character's very diminished unit charges the Razorgore. and I stand and I'm going to die. The the Hydra he forgot to charge with, and he didn't realize it until I actually, at the end of his declare charges, I actually re- reminded him, declare all your charges before you start moving things around. He's like, no, that's all my charges. And then he got to the Hydra and realized he likely would have wanted to charge him into the rear of that Gore unit. Not sure how important that is because the Gore unit's pretty diminished. So my plan so far, I'm thinking I can probably, because most of the Blackguard are not in combat now, I'm probably going to be okay with the um, Gore unit. Probably the best thing my opponent could have done after this round is to reform the Blackguard so that the Gores are in their flank and they'd be facing the oncoming Bestigors. But he didn't think of it. I didn't think about it at the time. If you look at the dice behind the Blackguard, during my magic phase, I got them -2 strength and -3 weapon skill. So those Blackguard are not nearly as threatening as they were. But then what was crushing is during his magic phase, he got off Occam's Mind Razor on his warriors, and so they're now strength 10, and that's spelled doom for my Gore unit. So just a close up. Yeah, that's what strength 10 does. Just chopped through him, absolutely devastating. I'm really lucky my general survived it all. Wow, and I think he survived just because he was in a challenge. So all right, but after combat, even with the Mind Razor, the strategy worked in terms of those guys stuck around for my great weapon Bestigors to come in. The problem is, yeah, I'm going to chop through a bunch of Blackguard, but he's going to be stubborn 10 and it's going to hold, and then I'm going to get flank charged with everything else. So even that strategy, it worked, and still, who really cares? It didn't, it's really not going to affect a whole lot. At this point in the game, I'm just trying to kill as many Dark Elves as possible. So the Jabberslythe couldn't charge anything, so I just flew around. I'm ignoring the mages because I really don't think I'm going to be able to keep them in my charge arc or distance. I think they're just going to move around. So I've set him up to possibly support the Blackguard, which does, like I said, he's on 1 wound, so he's going to die no matter what happens if he charges in. So after combat, yeah, he kills my general at strength 10. It wasn't difficult. Reforms both those units. My best scores came in, did great. Look at the Blackguard unit, very much diminished, but really who cares? So he comes in with everything else. We actually, obviously that's the game. There's nothing else I can do. We finished rolling for the Bestigor combat, and I'm great weapon, so I go last. And by the time I went to attack, I had 2 Bestigors left, maybe only 1. I mean, it was ugly. So yeah, that was it. That was the game. So I actually really enjoyed that game. I always get mad at myself for making mistakes more than I get mad at bad dice rolling. I'm not sure I had horrible dice rolling in this game. I mad at the mistake with the combat on the left where the Razor Gore displaced a lot of my Gore attacks. Very unimpressed with the Cygor and the Jabberslythe. I mean, that was basically 550 points that were absolutely wasted. Just I'm probably using those monsters wrong. They're fluffy. They are not competitive. So yeah, but anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.